Hi friend, my name is Azura and welcome back to my channel. We're having a little new setup. This will not be permanent. This one is another one that won't be permanent. I'm in my room, I'm on my bed. I have my little sunset lamp going. I was feeling very purple today, so that's what we're doing. Even though it may not be translating as purple because I'm using my ring light for lighting purposes. I did something new with my hair today. I literally just did it today. Let me know how y'all like it. I personally love it. I used to have a side part every time I used to get my hair done when I was younger, and I forgot just how cute it was. Like, it was cute then when I was younger, but it's giving grown, it's giving sexy, it's giving professional. Like, what do you mean? Good makeup day, you feel me? So, and of course I did it for y'all because I need to give y'all a story time. Today is a very special day. It is the start of the Barbershop Blue series here on my channel. If you watched Wednesday's vlog, I briefly spoke about just a smidge of the BS that I am having to deal with at my place of work. That is my family's barbershop. And so yeah, this will be the first part. There will be as many parts as much as the issues keep happening and the drama keeps happening. That's how many parts there's going to be. Because if I can't say what I want to you at work because in the name of professionalism, then I'm going to say it on my channel where I don't have to worry about professionalism because it's my channel with my name on it. And I get to talk about what I want to talk about here. Without further ado, we're just going to jump right into it because me personally, I'm very excited to tell y'all the tea because these people at this shop be having me so messed up, girl. Like, so messed up. So messed up. I've already told my brother, my fiance, like, if you know me in real life, chances are you've heard at least a little bit, especially if you're on my close friends on Instagram. Which, if you're not on Instagram, it's going to be somewhere on the screen if you want to give me a follow. The name that we're going to give the main character of today's story is Meatball. And I'm going to tell you why. We're going to pull up Urban Dictionary on our cellular devices. And we're going to call him Meatball because let me read you the definition of meatball. So a meatball, according to the Urban Dictionary, a fat narcissist, especially one prone to deception and theft. That is the definition of a meatball. And I'm not one to body shame women or men. So it just happens. It's not meant to body shame, okay? It's meant to be a joke. And the narcissist and deception and theft, that coincides with this certain individual quite well. Okay? Okay, cool. So without further ado, now that we know what Meatball is and why his name is Meatball, well, we don't know quite why his name is Meatball just yet, but trust me, we'll get there. If y'all have been keeping up with me, I know this is my 5th video, so if you don't know by now, I do work in a barbershop. I work at Lola's Barber and Beauty in San Bernardino. It is my fiance's family shop, and I'm very thankful to have a job there. I've been a stay-at-home girlfriend for stay-at-home fiance now because your girl's getting married, but I was a stay-at-home girlfriend for around 3 years. And then, you know, I chose to step in at my fiance's family's barbershop because they needed some help. And I was more than happy to do so. I still am more than happy to do so. My role in the barbershop, I have quite a few. I'm the receptionist. I am the salon / shop manager, I guess, and the social media manager. I do all the social media promotions. I take the photos, the TikTok videos, the Reels videos. I edit everything. I post everything. That is all me. That is what I do. I clean at the beginning of the day. I clean at the end of the day. You've seen, again, if you've watched my vlogs, you've seen me do my cleaning. You've seen me, you know, in action at work, whatever, slightly, you know. That's what I do. A few facts to get into before we get into the actual nitty-gritty of the story time, the meat and potatoes, if you will. Since I've been there, sales have been up. Sales, profit margin, everything. I've made a good impact on the shop. I always make it a point to make everybody's job a lot easier than it was before I was here. A lot of the things that I'm noticing weren't going cohesively with each other. I was able to kind of take a step back as the outsider looking in and kind of figure out what was wrong and how to fix it. And that's what we're in the process of doing right now, to just make it a more efficient and professional workplace. Before we weren't really having pull from clients finding us via Instagram or via TikTok. But since I've been, you know, putting out the content that I could, and, you know, just putting out content as forms of marketing, I've been putting on my story, and since then we've had quite a bit of clientele come in and mention how they found us on Instagram and found us on TikTok, and that wasn't happening before. And we actually saw one of our best days since the ownership changed when I was there. So that'll tell you right there that, you know, clearly what I'm doing and what we're doing as a shop is working, and clearly I'm not hurting anything, I'm actually helping. Now that we know a little bit of that, let's get into the actual barber, and I'm gonna put it in quotes. You're gonna understand why later, babe. Trust my process, okay? I would say trust the process, but trust my process, because I will give you something to have confidence in, okay? I will, I promise. So the first day that I was actually introduced to this idiot, that's not nice, but I mean, it's true, okay? The truth isn't meant to be pleasing, it's meant to be true. That's it, and he is an idiot. So that's what we're calling him right now. First day I met him, you know, I was just doing inventory. I was just becoming familiar. Excuse me. I was just familiarizing myself with the shop, with the inventory, with the POS system, the cash register, all that. Like, I'm like the business cards, the flyers, where everything is kept, all the cleaning supplies, what we need, what we might not need, what's taking up too much space, etc. Like, I was just familiarizing myself. Just know it was on a Saturday or Sunday. It was my first or second day there. That's all y'all need to know. So I was on, you walk in, there's two sides, and it's separated by like two glass cases where we advertise either the Suavecito products or Ricky's gel. And I was on the Ricky side because, you know, I was just, again, familiarizing myself with everything, how many ounces everything was, inventory I was counting, I had my notepad, like I was doing what I do. And he asks me, like, just, you know, what I'm doing, like my career path. Do I intend on cutting hair, and I'm just working to help out? And I was like, oh, I'm just working to help out. Like, I intend on going into cosmetology and barbering eventually, but I want to finish my current program at my school, which is paralegal studies right now. And then he's like, oh yeah, well, what do you want to do with that? He's just asking me questions, and I was answering them. Like, I wasn't being short, I was just answering the questions. Like, you asked me a question, I'm gonna answer it, you know? And he asked me who my affiliation with Marcos was, and I thought that was kind of odd, because when he came in, I heard one of the barbers say in Spanish, that's the daughter-in-law to Marcos, so you know who I am, right? So I guess he just wanted me to say it. I don't know. The dude's a weirdo. Like, he's a weirdo. So, like, you're gonna notice throughout the story, he's gonna be asking, doing, saying weird shit. He's just a weirdo. I don't know what else to tell you. Asking my affiliation to Marcos, I was like, he's my father-in-law. Like, in my head, I was like, you know this. I don't know why you're asking me questions, you know, or asking me that question, you know, whatever. Like, oh yeah, he's my father-in-law. He's like a second dad to me. Like, that's why I'm here, is to help him, help my mother-in-law, you know, help the family. All in all, at least I thought it was a very positive interaction. Like, there was no conflict. It wasn't hostile. It wasn't volatile. It wasn't any of that. Like, I thought it was a positive interaction. But I guess it wasn't, and you'll see later in later events. And because I thought it was a positive interaction, this next part caught me so off guard. I was like, you know that Shrek meme where he's like, that's exactly how I felt in my head when I found out this next part. I was like, where did this come from? I work Friday to Sunday, but usually it's like every other Sunday. I've never consistently worked like Sundays back to back since I've been there, just because like my fiance's only day off is Sunday. Blue collar workers, do better, please. Why do you only have one work day? So you're telling me I only get to see my man for like 4 hours a day, and then only one day a week, all day? Do better. Do better. I hate it here. I really do. I always say that blue collar girlfriends, like, and wives, like, y'all must hate y'all husbands and boyfriends because y'all barely see them. And I'm addicted to mine, so I hate it here. Straight up, I hate it here. Well, on a Sunday or a day that I wasn't there, because again, I'm not there Monday through Thursday. I'm only there Friday through Sunday, and then even then, every other Sunday pretty much. So on a day, one of those days I wasn't there, he thought he was slick and chose to tell one of the other barbers who happens to like me. He told her basically like, why don't we need a receptionist? Why is she in here? We don't even need her here. You're beefing with somebody you don't even know. Do you even know how to say my first name? Do you even know how to spell it? Do you even know my last name? Do you know the last name that I'm about to take on next year at this time? You don't even know me. But like, little did he know that like, my father-in-law tells me everything, especially if my name is mentioned. Like, he's gonna tell me, and we're gonna laugh at you. We're gonna laugh at you together. And that's exactly what happened. I came to like, I think it was like they were cooking, or it was for some, like, I'm always at their house. I love going to their house. I always get fed and I always get to nap, bro. I love their house. It just feels like a warm hug. I've always said that. But I went over their house and like we were just talking about the shop or whatever. He was asking me how I like it, and I was like, oh yeah, it's cool. Like, it's nothing serious. Like, it's cool. He was like, Meatball would like call himself asking another barber. She doesn't need a name because she's not like a main character in the story. He was like, why do we even need her? Like, we don't need a receptionist. We don't need a stealing ass barber either, but we got your ass, don't we? Why are you worried about me? Worried about showing up to your appointments on time, not canceling or no-showing to your customers and pissing them off and sending them elsewhere where they talk shit about you in other barbershops. How about that? You ever thought about that? Maybe that's what we don't need, but you're worrying about the wrong thing. Then I noticed after that, I did not say anything to him. Like, I went in the next time that I was supposed to go in, and I was just keeping it cute because I'm not here to beef with you. Because how do I beef with somebody I don't know? I don't care about you. You don't pay my bills. You don't feed me. Like, I don't give a damn about you to have a problem with you. So you either feel threatened or you feel like your system of doing things is going to be affected, i.e. you having sticky fingers and like stealing. Because I actually did catch him stealing like recently. So, but we'll get into that. We'll get into that later. Like, a little later. Not too bad, but we'll get into that a little later. The first instance where I knew that this was going to be a problem, this fool was going to be a problem. Okay, so we have this jar of like dum-dums that we give out to all the kids after their cuts or while they're in the chair, or while they're waiting, you know, whatever. And he had a customer, and he usually gives his customers the candy, usually, unless he's super busy, then I'll just do it, you know. I'm at the register. I'm here at the register. It's down on the bottom shelf of the register, and he's on the other side of me. So he walks over and he was like, oh, could I get the candy? And so I'm like, yeah. I'm in the middle of doing something, but I reached down and I hand it to him and I continue doing what I'm doing. So I hold my hand out to get it back so I can just put it back so he doesn't have to put it back because I'm right there. The counter is like 4 feet long, or yeah, like long, like about 4 feet, maybe 3. I could be exaggerating. I'm not the measurement person. That would be my fiance, the one who actually takes measurements for a living. But to me, it looks to be about like 4 feet, maybe 3 feet. And I'm towards the very end of it because that's where the register and stuff is. And he doesn't even hand it to me. Like, I literally have my hand like this to get it back. Like, oh, just hand it back to me, right? He literally takes it, walks to the end of the counter, and puts it at the end of the counter. So I gotta stop what I'm doing, walk over there, and put it back. You're a pet. Like, the type of petty this man is, it's feminine, bro. It's like this is the stuff that I'd expect my little sister to do something like that to me when she's mad at me type of petty. That's what it's giving to me. And I looked at the back of his head as he walked or hobbled or rolled his ass the other way. I was just looking at him, and I looked, and I just laughed. I had to chuckle, bro. I was like, and I walked, and I put it down there, and I did, like, I kind of, like, put it down, like, say this was the jar, and this was, like, the bottom of the shelf. I was, like, hard. I was, like, he, like, turned and looked at it. I saw him turn his head, and I was, like, yeah, because you're acting like a B word, bro. Like, straight up. You're acting like a B word, and so if you want to do that, we could do that, because I mean, I thought I had to leave this stuff in high school, like I said in my vlog, but I guess I don't. The first situation, there's like 4 or 5 with just this specific barber, bro. Just this one. Secondly, whenever all the customers walk into the shop, I always greet them with a hi, how are you? Do you have an appointment? Yeah, that's basically what I say, like, welcome in, do you have an appointment? And they'll tell me whether they have an appointment or not, and then I ask them if they don't to sign in onto our sign-in sheet, because we do accept walk-ins. The only thing we ask is that you sign in, and there might be a wait if we're busy. So that's what I always do, regardless of the customer. If I have to say it in Spanish, I say it in Spanish. It's no big deal. And so when he's there, he's catching himself. Mind you, I'm at the front. His chair is a good like 10 feet away. At least, at the very least. Like, he's like a good 10 feet away. And he will yell mid-haircut, mid-conversation with the client in his chair, to yell over me talking to a customer. Oh, hey, how can we help you? Worry about the person in your chair. I mean, like, I'm not a loud person, but like, I don't need to be loud. The customer is like not like a foot away from me. What do I need to yell for? What do you need to yell for? Mind your business. Mind your client. That's unprofessional, one. And number two, it's awkward because I'll be looking at him like, you don't see me right here? I got it. Like, stop being it's just little rude shit. Like, I hate, like, the little rude stuff. I hate it. I truly hate it. I really, really, really hate it. Especially when it's coming from a man. As a man, you should never feel this comfortable disrespecting a woman. Ever. And the fact that you do, now I want to talk to your mom and ask her why the fuck she raised you this way. Because what's wrong with you? Now, the customers have become acclimated to him talking over me. So now, they'll just disregard me altogether, and I'll straight up be talking to these people. And they will 100% act like I'm not talking to them. And not address me at all, and only address him. Or any other barber, and not me. So, one day, it got so bad that I literally left early because I was about to cuss him out. And you're not about to take me out of my character and the growth that I'm doing because you want to be an asshat. That has nothing to do with me. You wanting to be a dickhead has nothing to do with me and my personal growth. And personally, you're not allowed to take me out of my character. I'm not gonna allow it. I'm just gonna remove myself, and that's what I did. The last thing that I'm gonna get into with this specific barber, it's disgusting. So trigger warning if blood or any other bodily fluid like spit grosses you out, you might as well click off now, because it's disgusting. I'm telling you that right now, it's disgusting. Whenever I go to work, I always usually get there by 8:45. The latest 9. Like last week, I was feeling under the weather, so like I was getting there late most of the days that I worked. So on a normal week, I usually get there by like 8:30, 8:45. And I start, like, I don't open the shop, but I start opening the shop. I'll like disinfect the chairs, the countertops, I'll clean the glass, deep clean the bathroom whenever I go because of things specifically like this. But on this specific day, he caught himself wanting to get there obscenely early, right? Ooh, there's another instance I gotta tell you guys about, which is why I call him a thief, but we'll get there. Let's say he opened at like 8. We don't open until 9:30, bro. Like, if you lost out on your clients days before because you have a punctuality issue, that's on you. But opening the shop hella early, like, that's ridiculous. There's no need. I go in the shop, right? And, you know, he's like all chipper, which he usually never is. He's like, oh, good morning. Big old smile on his face. I should have known then that there was something that was gonna go on, but I didn't. But I soon did. You know why? Because when I went to the bathroom, because especially if there's already clients there and somebody opened the shop early, my priority is cleaning the bathroom. The bathroom needs to be clean, especially in an environment like that. I can't have a dirty bathroom, and Marcos, my father-in-law, hates a dirty bathroom as well. So that's usually the first thing that I will clean. I go in there, and before I even start, I look on the sink. There is toothpaste spit and bloody spit. Not just inside the sink, on top of the sink. Like, you know how the sink has that flat surface on top and then it dips into the bowl of the sink, and it's like the faucet and the handles are here and it's flat. The flat part of the sink on top of the sink, bloody spit and bloody toothpaste spit. So that means you rolled out of bed and came here and chewed. I can't even speak. I'm so blue. I'm blue, bro. I'm still blue, and this happened weeks ago. I'm blue. Blue. I'm absolutely blue. I'm so blue, I'm crippin'. Blue, bro. This shit blew me. Not only is there toothpaste spit and bloody spit on top of the sink, it's inside the sink. So that means you rolled out of bed, did not brush your teeth, got to work and brushed your teeth there, and didn't even have the nerve to clean up after yourself. Mind you, everybody knows that I clean the bathroom on the weekends because that's when I'm there, the weekends. So you're trying to tell me that you did not see that? The mess you made. You didn't see that? There's no way on God's green earth you didn't see that. And I can't help but think that you did that as a way to get back at me because you don't like the fact that I'm here, because the timing was way too close, and I don't believe in coincidence. I don't. And then so I took a picture, of course. I literally still have the picture, but I'm not putting it in here. Just because I had to see it doesn't mean y'all have to see it. Y'all do not need to see that shit. I take a picture, I send it to my father-in-law, and I'm like, this is what I walked into the bathroom with. This, because there's blood involved and this is supposed to be a sterile area and environment, that could be bad for the shop. It takes one customer, one dissatisfied customer, for that to be bad for us, you know? And he's like, no, yeah, that's nasty, this and this. He's like, I'm gonna run the cameras back and see if it was the dude in his chair or if it was him. Of course, he runs the cameras back and it's him. It's not the client, of course. I can't say of course, actually, because I've had clients pee on the floor in the bathroom. Completely miss the toilet. Disgusting. So he like chews him out or whatever. Chews him out. And he says, oh yeah, he said he's sorry. And I was like, until he says it to my face, I'm not accepting an apology. You're man enough to do it. You're man enough to, you can come to my face and say it. You can come to my face like a real man and apologize, because that's disgusting. And I'm not your mom. I'm not cleaning up that shit ever again. I want to take, you know when a dog or a cat does something bad and you put their face in it? I mean, I personally do that because I think it's inhumane. But you know how people do that, like, to tell them no? I literally want to get him by the back of his shirt and put his face in it and be like, you see that shit? That's nasty. But there was a customer there. I would have pressed the issue right then and there with him if there was not a customer there. Because I care more about the reputation of the shop than my own personal, like, qualms with this creature. So the last thing before I let y'all go, because I'm already looking at my thingy, it says 29 minutes and 44 seconds. So it's about time to wrap this up, babe. There's a day that I'm at the shop mad late. We close at 6, Monday through Friday. Saturday we close at 5:30 and Sunday we close at 2:30 p.m. So I believe this was a Friday, if I'm not mistaken. It might have been a Friday. It might have been the Friday before Super Bowl weekend or the week before Super Bowl weekend. I want to say it was around there. So there's him who's cutting hair, is Meatball. There's a dude in his chair, and there's a friend of the dude in his chair. So he's taking forever, and my fiance is here by this time, because he usually, like, if he carpools with the guys of the crew, he'll get dropped off at the shop when I'm working there, so nobody has to go all the way to our house, which is like 10-15 minutes away from the shop, depending on traffic and things. So he'll just have them drop him off there because it's just easier. And from there, he either goes home or waits for me to be done. And that day, he wanted to wait for me to be done because he wanted to see how this fool acts when we're closing. So my fiance, like, is sitting down. I've finished my closing duties. It's like 7:15 by this time. Like, this day, I didn't really leave. I don't think I left until like 7:30 or 7:45. That's ridiculous. Mind you, he could have scheduled these people during the day because he was taking walk-ins and he was not supposed... He's literally appointment only. He doesn't even like taking walk-ins, but he needed the money because he was being unprofessional with his other clients the previous day. Yeah. So he needed to make up for the money he lost. So he was staying late. And by that time, there was nobody else in the shop. I had flipped the sign to close, locked the door, whatever. So, you know, passerbys can get the hint that we're not open anymore. So my fiance is just sitting in one of the waiting chairs in our little waiting area. And I'm sitting next to him, and I'm just taking selfies because I look cute. My makeup looks great. And I took some selfies. And, yeah. So my fiance catches this before I do. But the first thing Meatball says is, oh, y'all can leave, like, I'm gonna be a minute. And I was like, no, it's okay, I'm staying. I have to count the money at the end of the night anyway. Like, I straight up say that. So you know that I'm not only counting the money before you, I'm counting the money after you. So then, him and his friends start looking at me and my fiance and like kind of doing one of these, like gesturing towards us. And I didn't catch that part. My fiance caught that part and told me in the car, like, yeah, they were trying to shush us out of there. Like, they were uncomfortable that we were there. And so he, like, finally finished the cuts, and he left, they left, and I locked up and counted the money and things like that, cashed him out, whatever. And yeah, like, I genuinely believe that if we weren't there, he would have stolen that night. It's crazy because last week, was it last week? It was last week. Last weekend when I was working, there's like that disinfectant spray that barbers will use in between heads if they don't have time to soak it in Barbicide. We have those on hand at the barbershop, but my father-in-law's rule of thumb is you pay full price for those, right? So, I noticed, because there was 3 in the back for the longest time in the cabinet. And I would go in the cabinet every day that I'm working for weeks and weeks and weeks, so I'm noticing how many is there. So the last time I'm there, I noticed that there was only 2. And so I go back in the transactions on the POS system and on the books, like the physical book that we have, and I looked through all of it to see like if he had written it down or he had cashed it out or whatever, and I just didn't see it because I know for a fact that day I didn't see it. Like, I didn't see him physically pay for it. I had noticed earlier that day that he had one on his desk, but in the beginning of the day, he had one with like no cap on it, which is against the rules. Like, in a barbershop, everything has to be labeled and there has to be a cap on everything, no matter what it is. I noticed at the beginning of the day, there was one without a cap. And then now I'm going on all the desks, all the barbers' desks, and I'm wiping them off and I'm sweeping around it for extra hair that they missed. And usually it's a lot of hair that they missed. And I noticed that there's one with a cap on it. So I go through everybody's and I shake it to see how much is in it, because it's not a coincidence that at the beginning of the day I saw 3 in there, and I go in there at the end of the day to get my cleaning supplies, and now there's only 2. One of y'all took it. So I'm shaking up all of it because, again, I didn't see anybody check it out in the POS system. So that means whoever took it didn't pay for it. So I look at everything, and his is the most full. So I was like, all right. So I call my father-in-law. I let him know what's going on, and he has me write it down. And yeah, so now I don't have any proof that he's stealing money, but he is at least stealing product, and that's enough for me. Mind you, there's a barber that's a friend of his that used to cut at this shop, but he got let go because he was actually stealing, got caught on camera stealing. So birds of a feather don't flock together? Birds of a feather don't flock together. Right, they do. So, and it always starts out with something small. It always starts out with something small. So now my eyes are on him. My eyes are on you like white on rice. So, okay, real quick. Real quick. This is for real, the last one. So there was this, when I came in one day, there were this bag from Boot Barn, right? So I'm thinking, okay, Marcos, my father-in-law, I'm thinking he left it. Like, it's like somebody's work boots, right? Or like maybe one of his sons, either my man or his brother, ordered some. He picked it up on the way. Like, I'm thinking that it's his. So I just put it behind the counter. So, and that's usually the chair that I sit in every day. It's because the barber's chair that I sit in, that barber's never there. So I usually sit there because it's the closest to the front desk anyway. So I don't have to sit in the waiting room chairs or the waiting area chairs. Whatever, you know what I mean. So yeah, I was thinking that it was just like somebody's boots. So I just put it behind the chair. And so I was sitting there And Meatball walks up to me after his head, and it's not busy. I don't think it's busy at all. I don't think there's any customers in the chairs actually. And he like mumbles something, and I go, I'm sorry. Like, I go to like, huh? And he goes, never mind. Rolls his eyes at me just like that. Never mind. Bends over to get the Boot Barn bag and walks it to this lady that just walks in. And he like walks away from her after he tells her bye or whatever. He walks past me back to his chair, rolling his eyes, smirking, talking under his breath. Who the fuck are you talking about? Who is it? It can't be me. It can't be me. Just know you will be dealt with. Keep being disrespectful to me. So yeah, guys, that's for real. That's the end of the story time today. Meatball, that was your tape. I don't think you'll ever come across this video, but in the event that you do, yeah, it's about you. And you best believe that you're gonna stop disrespecting me. I'm not even gonna ask you to. I'm telling you, you're gonna stop disrespecting me. Because I didn't do anything to you. I, in fact, make your life easier. So you're gonna leave me be. That's the story of, that's part 1 of Barbershop Blues. Meatball, this is your tape. You don't have to stop with the disrespect, okay? Hi guys, thank you so much for coming back to my channel. Thank you so much if you made it to the end of this story time. If you did, leave a red emoji of some sort. I don't care what it is, just a red emoji. And let me know in the comments what you guys want to see from me. Like, what are you feeling like? What are we feeling? Because if you ask me for something, I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it to you. So just let me know. What do you want to see from me, homegirl? Like, I'm here for y'all. We're here for each other. We see each other. So yeah, look out tomorrow for a get to know me video. I'm so excited to film that video because I feel like y'all have seen me. Some of y'all that know me personally know me, but like if you're new, you don't really know me. So I want to just have a video on here that, you know, y'all can reference, so we can feel closer, build that community that I was talking about in my life update. Like, let's build a little family, girl. Like, we are a family. Like, and you know your family. So yeah, just look out for that on Saturday. I can't wait to share with you. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video.